Welcome to the Personal Podcast. I'm really happy to have Ruth Smith, the Feel Amazing therapist, in the studio for Personal today, the podcast where we get to meet the real person behind the professional. So Ruth, are you ready?
I am. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. How did it feel to be diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at age 40?
Awful, devastating. I must have cried for at least a week, if not more. Because your whole world has changed. You grieve for the life that you had and the life that you're not going to have. Because you always think the worst. It was like, right, I'm going to be in a wheelchair straight away and things like that. So your mind obviously goes down that route. It was just, obviously
Not good.
life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. And did it influence your perspective on life?
100%. Yeah, it really did. At first it was all doom and gloom. And then me and my dad went to see my MS nurse, who tells you all about like what MS is going to be like. And she was going through everything. She was like, no, you might end up being in a wheelchair. You might not be able to use your arms. Somebody might have to feed you. And at that point I was like, what? And my dad went, his infamous line, fantastic, I'll feed you salad. And I don't mind a bit of salad now, but I ain't, I was definitely a salad dodger then. And he just thought it was hilarious. And that was quite a pinnacle moment, to be fair, because then I said, right, in my little head, if somebody's going to be feeding me salad, I'm going to do anything that I want or even don't want to do. Mm-hmm. So from that moment, everything switched around and changed.
It's amazing that even in such a grim situation, you could laugh.
Yeah, it was. It was funny. Our dad just like dropped that line in, and then that was it. It changed the whole perspective of life.
And is that where your fuck it list got developed?
Yeah. So my fuck it list is if you do not want to do something, then you do it. Mm-hmm. So I jumped out of an aeroplane. Did the skydive, hot air balloon ride. My kids use it against me quite a bit. Oh. So my son does flow rider. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a bit like surfing, but it'll kill me.
Oh, I have.
Like bodybuilding, like bodyboarding.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I want you to have a go, Mum. I want you to have a go, Mum. And I was like, oh, no. And he went, but remember your list. And I was like that, oh, right, okay then. So I chose a Saturday afternoon. I was like thinking, right, there's nobody going to be there on a Saturday afternoon. I had the guy who did his training. I said, right, I want you on shift. I want you to do it for me and all of the rest of it. So we rock up on Saturday afternoon with a party. There was a party of kids there, like all about 8 or 9 with their parents. And I'm like, oh, no.
Bad timing.
So I went first. I went, right, that's it. I'm going first. And I went first and it was great and I loved it. And then I came off the board and I was just stuck. It wasn't lifting me back up. And I was kind of like stuck in the corner, like just with my hands and thingies. But I was laughing that much that I couldn't do anything. And they had to come over and give me a shove to get off. And I was like, that right, I'm done now.
Oh my goodness. So what else have you done?
I'm self-employed. I have gone on rides at theme parks that I wouldn't normally have gone on. Yeah. I am the most popular person when we come to a theme park ride though, because I normally get a pass so I don't have to queue. So I am normally the most popular person. And it's like the fastest roller coaster, stuff that you'd look at and go, nope. And then you're like, what's the worst that can happen? Somebody is going to feed me salad. So that's it. And then I'm just on it. Yeah. It's just that mindset of you just don't know, do you, what's coming around the corner and somebody may be feeding you salad. So if it's something you don't want to do, do it. You've got your bucket list of all the things that you want to do that you might not actually do. Mm-hmm. Why not step out your comfort zone and do the stuff that you don't want to do?
Because a lot of people would think, well, why should I have to do things I don't want to do? Because, life's too short in that respect as well. But
yeah, it is. But it's like jet skiing. I did not want to go jet skiing. And George, when we were on a holiday, and George was like, remember the F list? So we went, I hated every single moment of it. Mm-hmm. And so did George because he was on the back. But yeah, so it was good fun though.
Yeah.
And I can say that I've done it.
Yeah, definitely. But you don't have to be careful what you do.
Yes, in some ways. So I remember one time we went and did like a bit like go ape. We went to the lakes and we did a bit of a go ape thing. And if you got to the top, there was 2 levels. And if you got to the top, you could go on the zip line. And I quite like zip lines. So I was like that, right. Well, I stepped on the first ladder and fell off. I was dangling by, the thing.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't get back on. And I was laughing that much. So my daughter Lily was behind me. My friend was in front of me, trying to hoist me back on. Every single obstacle, I had there was people down below watching me. My shoe fell off, nearly hit somebody on the head. And I was just dangling all of the time, laughing. But because I was laughing, I couldn't do anything and I couldn't get back on the thing. But when we did the first round, I was like, right, that's it. I'm not going to be able to go and do the second level. And I actually sat and cried and cried and cried because it was that reminder that I couldn't do it.
Okay.
It was, I felt really sorry because there were like teenagers, staff thinking, oh my God, there's like this nearly 50-year-old woman crying her eyes out. What do we do? And they were like, you can still go on the zip wire, we can take you up. You can still go on the zip wire.
But it was about so much more than that.
But it was that reality that I couldn't do it and I'd fallen at every obstacle.
Okay. But you tried.
But But I did my bucket and I did it. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very stark reminder of what I can and can't do.
Personal isn't just about business. It's about the human stories behind them. We address all aspects of health, from cancer, gastric bands and meningitis to mental health and the menopause. Nothing is off limits on this show. But as these stories often highlight, you can't take your health for granted. I know I don't, and that's why I trust WPA to protect my health. WPA isn't like any other health insurer. It's not for profit and offers award-winning, tailored health insurance solutions to individuals, families, and businesses of all sizes. Among UK health insurers, it consistently tops consumer surveys and Trustpilot ratings, while its members can manage their membership from pre-authorising claims to accessing remote GP services, all on the WPA Health app. Crucially, they help ensure the access to the very best treatment at a time and place that is convenient to you. I speak with Martin Nichols, one of the 90+ dedicated WPA healthcare partners across Britain, who provides advice and ongoing support during your journey with WPA. Contact Martin anytime on 07870 513 653 to discuss your requirements. Martin Nichols, appointed representative of WPA Healthcare Practice plc, authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. The healthcare practice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Western Provident Association Limited, WPA. So what challenges do you face on a daily basis living with MS?
Not knowing what you're going to be like when you wake up, because every day is different.
Okay.
Pain is a big thing. So pain is every day. Brain fog is just ridiculous, and perimenopause and MS is not a good crack, I tell you. So I just forget things all of the time. I just can't often think about things. Always tired. So after today, like after we finish here, I'll just go to sleep. And that's quite a big thing. And that's the big thing that really annoys me most is I need to sleep all of the time. And that restricts me from doing things with the kids. I can't do it, like I can't bike ride anymore because I fell off. We fell off a bike before. And it's those things that I can't do anymore with the kids, but sleeping's, yeah.
And do you have to sleep longer on a night as well?
Yeah, I normally get about 10 hours.
Okay.
At the minute, it's a bit disrupted, but yeah, and I'm still tired. Always tired.
Goodness. And does the pain fluctuate day to day, or is it always the same?
No, it does fluctuate. There's always pain in my legs and in my back. That's always there. And then, yeah, sometimes it'll wake me up during the night. My arms, my left arm is weaker. That's why it's resting on here. Can't open bottle tops and things like that. Sometimes it's just, it changes really on a daily basis, but it is steady. I'm taking some drugs that are called disease-modifying drugs. So they stop it hopefully from getting worse.
Okay.
And progressing. They delay that. So the last 2 MRIs have come back okay.
Okay, that's good because, like you said, when you were told, you instantly flashed to the worst case scenario straight away. And is it just a case of making the most of what you can do daily, making sure you're resting? I guess you pay a price if you have a busy day.
Yes, yeah, I really do. And you just know, so like kind of, you know how to then plan your next day.
Okay.
So if you've got a lot on one day, you know that the next day is going to be a rest day. So
I see.
Then move over. It is just a case of planning, really.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you push yourself. And yeah, then you do go too far and you've not planned your next day. But we all do, don't we?
I guess, yeah. But it is one of those illnesses that is quite hidden. You know, I remember I saw you at an expo and you were on your feet all day and full of energy. I would have just had no idea. It must be quite frustrating dealing with an illness like that.
Yes, it is. I'm glad that people don't notice. I'm also glad that it kind of advocates so that when you do have MS or any other chronic illness, that you can have full of energy. So that expo, you know, nothing was on the rest of the afternoon and there was a days of rest after, because it took a lot to do that and a lot of energy. But I'm quite pleased that I put that and I can put that energy in and then just go back. And when people say, I didn't know you had MS, that's a really good thing, because then that's enhancing the illness. Because when you think of MS, you think of people in wheelchairs and disabled.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, it isn't necessarily that all of the time.
Is that one of the main misconceptions that you think people have, or are there others?
Yes, no, it's mainly MS. Well, hang on, you're walking.
And what exactly is it and what causes it and what early symptoms did you have that made you go to the doctors?
It was, so if you think of your spine as, I can't think of the word, like an electric cable.
Okay.
It's called a myelin sheath, I think. So it's an electric cable that goes down.
I remember that in science.
Yeah, yeah, that's the word. And say that electric cable's got cuts in it. So you've normally got 3 wires or whatever.
Okay.
And one of those wires is exposed. That's kind of my nerves. So along my spine, there's bits that are cut. So the nerves. So sometimes, like, I can't remember to do things because the nerves are playing up. It's your body attacking yourself.
Oh, okay.
And then there's lesions in the brain as well. And then it's as those progress, that's, generally how you get worse. The reason why you've got pain or you've got like a twitch and things like that is because of the exposed wires essentially in your spine.
Okay.
Where were we? So my symptoms were, I turned 40. I just got divorced. I met my partner. Life was good. And then I was falling asleep at my desk at work. No matter how many Pro Plus or Red Bulls that I had, I was falling asleep at my desk. Then I went numb and all over my chest area went numb. And I was actually training to do the Great North Run.
Right.
So I was never going to be fat at 40. So the first day of January, I started Couch to 5K. Then I thought, my boss said to me, if you can run 10K, Ruth, you can do the Great North Run. And bizarrely, the only charity place I could get was for the MS Society.
Oh, really?
And
wow.
I'd never really heard about it before. And then these symptoms started. My doctor was absolutely brilliant. Worked out that when George, my son, was born, I thought I had like vertigo. It turns out that will have been a relapse. Then what I was going through again was a relapse. So you got to have lumbar punctures, MRIs, and a whole range of things. But my doctor was really good. And then he ran the Great North Run for me. He took my place.
Oh, my goodness.
Made a donation to the MS Society.
Wow, what are the chances of that?
I know. Isn't it bizarre?
It's a bit spooky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the universe speaking.
Yeah, definitely. So you couldn't run it and you can't really run anymore.
No, I can't. I'm lucky to walk.
Yeah,
walk the dog. My aim this year is I am going to get up Roseberry Topping. Now that will probably be with somebody shoving me up and somebody else pulling me up. But I do want to get to the top of Roseberry Topping this year.
Oh, brilliant. You're going to try in summer?
Yeah.
Wait till it's a bit nicer.
That's on my bucket list. Like,
oh, brilliant.
What's the worst that can happen? I can get halfway up. I can come down on my bum.
Yeah.
Or I get to the top, which is where I'm going to be.
It's an amazing mindset. And we'll talk a little bit more on that and your business that's kind of come out of a lot of that. But, life was hard already. You mentioned you'd been through a divorce. How old were your children when your partner left you?
My baby son was 6 months and my daughter was 4 at the time.
Goodness me, how did you cope?
I cried a lot. And it was tough. I was feeding my son and my daughter was distraught and just wanted a daddy. She was a bit of a daddy's girl, couldn't quite understand what was going on. Neither could I. We'd been together for 17 years. And so feeding my baby, looking after her and crying a lot.
You must have been losing a lot of fluids because of your milk and then tears as well. Oh, and was it a shock?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was unexpected. I certainly wasn't expecting it. You know, George was a planned baby, and for him to go at 6 months was,
horrendous. What were the most challenging times back then?
My mental health dropped, like quite badly, to a point where it went to the bottom. It went to really, really dark. I'd phone my friends in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'd bring George into my bed or I'd go into Lily's bedroom just for that safety, if that makes sense, just for that. I've got to be here just to make me safe, just to get me through that minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, however long that I needed it. That's what I'd do. I'd go and get the babies.
Yeah, and when you say like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, like you literally feel every minute.
Yes.
In those situations.
Yeah.
What got you through it?
I had some counselling, but it wasn't counselling actually, it was like coaching, life coaching as well, and therapy, and my friends got me through it a lot. Some antidepressants, and time, I guess. And I think painting. I painted the kitchen and I painted my bedroom. And I painted that man right out of my house.
Oh, I love it. Oh, and what's the hardest part about being a co-parent?
Oh, because we're 50-50. So It is really hard, and it is differences in parenting style and parenting beliefs. So I go one way and he goes completely the opposite. And then we clash, and we've kind of got to find somewhere in the middle. We have a group chat that actually has somebody else in to, I don't know if coordinate's the right word.
Mediate?
Mediate, yes. Yes, so she's in there to mediate.
Okay.
Otherwise it can get,
Yes, it's a fun activity, isn't it?
Yeah. Holidays are good though. Summer holidays, school holidays, because you don't need to worry about childcare for at least half of it. So there is bonuses.
Yeah. And how old are your children today?
So George is 16 and Lily is 20.
Okay, and they're all fine. They're fine.
Yeah, Lily's not very well.
Yeah.
She's quite poorly. Okay. George is doing his GCSEs this year. So, yeah, he's hating life at the moment, especially these holidays because I'm making him revise. But Lily is quite poorly.
Yeah, I meant kind of in terms of the breakup, did it affect them? No.
George not, because he doesn't know anything else or anything different. Lily it did, and it kind of changed Lily's relationship with her dad. Around about when she was 13.
Okay.
It kind of all changed.
Have you met anyone new?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a partner, Col. Yeah, we don't live together. This is the thing for future relationships.
Sounds great.
It's fantastic. It really is. I've got to say, it works. I love it.
Yeah, you're hearing of that more and more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the recipe for success.
It's the future. I'm not the only one. He too enjoys it as well.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned that your daughter's poorly. What does she suffer from?
So she's got something called FND, which is functional neurological disorder, which is something that nobody's really heard of. It's getting more common. It's a mixture of mental health and physical health. And at the moment, sadly, she's paralysed from the waist down. She kind of just woke up and that was that.
My goodness, that's like really serious.
Yeah.
So she has mental health problems, and then because of that, she's suffering physically to the extent she's paralyzed.
Yeah. It's like F&D affects everybody differently. And it's a bit like your computer crashing, and that's how they describe it. So your computer's crashed and wiped out everything.
Wow.
And it is so powerful that she'll probably have to learn how to walk again. She's got upper body strength, thankfully. But there's other things like she zones out quite a bit, and yeah, there's a lot that's going to go on. She's got a lot to go.
Bless her. And you mentioned that this is getting more common, FND. I haven't ever heard of it before until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I think because it's mental health based, and mental health for people over the past years as like it's gone down and it's lowered. And this FND has just been recognised by NICE in the past couple of years, which is why more people can diagnose it. But because it's mental health, and mental health has been really poor, with COVID and everything before, and the way of the world, that is why it's getting more popular, because the brain's kicking in and it just can't cope with it anymore, and it's just like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah, what do you think's causing this? I mean, I'm constantly hearing of young people with more and more mental health problems, and it's worrying. I've got really little children, and I worry for them. And already my eldest has had counselling for mental health, and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more open. So I think more people will recognise it and talk about it a lot more. Obviously, we had COVID where we had 2 years, especially with the younger children. So the kids now that are going into secondary school missed out. Also, like your year 9s didn't really get year 7 and didn't finish year 6. Like George didn't finish year 6 and went straight into year 7. And that's like it's a big
landmark.
Yeah, and you're losing those social skills. There's a lot of pressure now for children.
Yeah.
And you're right, it affects their mental health, and I see that quite a lot in schools.
Yeah, but goodness me, your daughter sounds really poorly, and you're not well yourself. How do you cope?
Sleep a lot.
Yeah.
So there is more sleep, more pain. My mental health has been affected by it. I am now on antidepressants, higher dose, and it makes me really, really sad. I'm going to get upset now. To kind of think about the life that she's lost, because it's very similar to MS. You never know when it's going to hit you. She's got to manage her stress. So when she comes through this, takes some physiotherapy, takes some psychotherapy. So when she's come through and she's out of this, she could relapse again at any time. So she's really got to manage. And it just makes me sad that she's 20. She'd just moved out. She moved in with a girlfriend. Life was good.
Yeah.
And then, then this happened.
That is terrible. I'm really sorry to hear that. And your mother died quite suddenly as well. You've been through so much lately.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Mum was 45 when she died. I was about 28, so because she had me quite young. She was like ridiculously independent. I think that's where Lily gets it from. She reminds me so much. It's karma. So she had a cough and eventually went to the doctors because she was losing weight. And the doctor didn't think much of it, sent her for an X-ray. And from the X-ray, they noticed that there was shadowing on the lungs, and she needed to go and be tested for cancer. She went to James Cook Hospital, and they said that it was kind of, I suppose nowadays you would think it was stage 4. I think is probably where it was at. And it was hard. So, my dad couldn't cope. I couldn't cope, Mum couldn't cope. It was like, so they went for a second opinion at Leeds Hospital, which is the big place for cancer. And they did some tests and said Middlesbrough were wrong. And it was only a quarter of a lung, and because she was fit and she was healthy, she just needed to go in, have an operation, and they were just going to take a quarter of a lung out. So she was at Leeds, I was at home. And I got a phone call from Leeds Hospital on the day of the surgery telling me to get down there, and I needed to get down there urgently. My dad thankfully was there, so I rang him and he went down because there were some forms that he needed to sign. My ex-husband at the time was in Scarborough, so he had to come over from Scarborough to get me masked. Then we went down into Leeds, and ultimately it turned out that Middlesbrough were right, and that when they had gone to take the lung, they realised it was in an aorta and in a lymph nodes, and they removed the lung. And when she came round in like high dependency, she knew that there was something wrong, and she knew more that there was something wrong because Mark, my ex-husband, was there, and he hates hospitals. So because he was there at a bed, she kind of knew something serious had happened because he was there. And then as she came round, she got told that we don't know, whether chemo would help or radio or what the future was kind of looking. And yeah, she'd had this one lung removed. And then we were at Leeds for a little while, and we were talking about coming home. So I was there, my dad was there, Mark was there, and we were just merrily talking about the fact that Asda in Leeds was selling bikes. Because we thought it was, what were you, 20? So it's coming up 26 years now, so it was a little bit unusual for Asda.
Yeah,
bikes.
especially back then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we and it had a cafe. We were all upsmacked. So I'd been talking about how I just bought a new suit from Principles, and dead excited because it was Principles, and I was like that. Yeah, check me out. Talking about this cafe, and then Mum went into a whole load of pain very suddenly, and went unconscious. The team were there. We got taken into the family room. They started CPR. They came and asked us whether or not they wanted to continue. My dad said yes, so they did. But then, sadly, she died. So there was no goodbyes, no anything. By the time we went to see her, she was cold, and
Awful.
it was. Yeah, it was a really, really tough time. But then it continued on. That wasn't just it. I'm an only child, so we'd gone back to my mum and dad's house, and when we went in to the house, Mum had a big laying out table with loads of photos. My mum always used to take the photos, and she'd said to me dad one time when they were in hospital, "I want you to take this photo of me sat on this bench thing with some wording behind." And when we went in, we noticed this photo straight away. None of us had ever really seen it before. And she was sat on a bench with the wording behind her was, "Lost in a world that I crave no part. I sit alone and commune with my heart. Pleased with my little corner of the earth. Glad that I came and not sorry to depart." Which was absolutely life-changing again for me. But we had phone calls from the hospital to say that they needed to do a post-mortem on Mum because they didn't know why she died, because she shouldn't have died eventually like that. So they rang us to say that. Then they rang to say that somebody had been messing about with the anaesthetic in rooms, in the surgery rooms, but not to worry because that wasn't the case. And then they rang again to say they needed to do another post-mortem. Then they rang again asking us to go to Gisborough Police and make a statement of what happened. And I'm still, to be fair, not 100% certain why we had to do that, but we had to go to Gisborough Police Station and make that statement. And then there was an inquest into it because it was misadventure. So because Mum shouldn't have died at that stage, we then had to have an inquest. So she died in the July, and it was the November, I think, before we had the inquest. But we didn't know any details of what Mum wanted because we'd never had that conversation. We didn't have to broach the subject that she was going to die because she just needed an operation, take out quarter of a lung, and that was that. So that was really, really tough.
Yeah, definitely. So with the inquest taking so long, did that delay the funeral?
No, we can
No.
still have the funeral. We got,
Okay.
can't think what it's called. It's not quite the death certificate, but it's an interim.
Right.
It's
Okay.
an interim certificate.
Right.
For then. So no, we could still have the funeral.
Did you ever get the outcome of the inquest?
Yeah, it was the where the lung had been taken out. The surgeon had stapled it, but the skin wasn't as thick as what it should have been. So if he'd have oversewn it, like there's 3 rings of the lung, had he oversewn all of those, she wouldn't have died in the way that she did. Yeah. So essentially the staples came out. And so it was just
terrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
And that message on the bench, is that something that you got put on her headstone?
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's actually, she's buried in the most beautiful place at Danby on the Millwards. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's where I got christened. It's where I got married. It's where like Lily and George have been christened. It's a big thing. It's a gorgeous church. And on a headstone we've got that wording. And it's just really, really significant. Mm-hmm. Because Mum was happy.
Yes.
And she was quite content. They bought a farmhouse. I'd walked in one day and she was there with a pickaxe smashing out the fireplace. I was like, "That, what are you doing? Don't like it." So I was smashing it out, I think mainly because my dad wasn't going to do it. So she started it and then had to finish it, didn't they? Mm-hmm. So she was quite content with her little corner of the world.
And you mentioned it kind of had a profound effect on your mindset. In what way?
So as I was growing, Mum, the words were, lost in a place that I feel no part, sit alone and commune with my heart. Pleased with my little corner of the earth. Glad that I came, not sorry to depart. And I thought, do you know what? My mum was pleased with her life and she was pleased with the corner of the earth and the farmhouse that she'd got and the sheep. And, it was that traditional thing that everybody wants. She had chickens and sheep and goats. So she was happy. So I was like, well, I need to be that happy. And she was 45. So why am I not happy? And I'm 28. So hang on a minute. So it was like getting to be that content. So when I got married, I wasn't content. There was still other stuff to do. And I appreciate I was young. And then I had the babies and, and still everything. And then obviously there was the divorce and everything like that. And I'm like, it's still not there. I was striving for it all of the time. But then I got MS. And then, to be fair, that actually makes me quite content with my world. Obviously, I don't want to depart. But it just puts everything into perspective. My world went into kind of a perspective and I thought, you know what, I am content. It is not perfect. There are days when I truly am not content, especially lately with the Lily and things like that, obviously. But I do feel much more content. And whether that's turning, I don't know, when I turned 50, it was like the best year of my life. I absolutely love being in my 50s. Yeah. I think it's great.
Brilliant.
You get away with murder.
Excellent. It's such a paradox, isn't it? You spend your life striving for happiness and then you get an illness and you suddenly realise you are actually content.
Yeah.
Was there a prolific experience that led you to suddenly think, right, yes, I am? I think you went through quite a lot of tough time during COVID. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. Because I've got MS, I needed to shield. So I needed to stop in, because if I went outside, I was going to die. And, I was there watching the news and watching the figures. And
must have been a scary time for you.
Things like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It really, really was. And I was like working from home and trying to homeschool the kids. I'm not very clever in a way that I like my maths and how I did maths at school. And I know we use a calculator, was different. So the school would have, George's school would have like a Zoom catch up. And she'd be like, "Was anybody any questions?" And I'd be like, "Yes, miss, please can you explain something to me?" So the kids would disappear, and then like Mrs. Galone was there teaching me how to do it. So then I could go and teach George.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So my mental health did drop, and I noticed it drop, and I thought, I don't want it to drop to the stage where it was before. I didn't want that. So I'd heard of life coaching and I thought maybe it's a good alternative to therapy. And I went down that route. My life coach is from Essex and we did it all online. And well, to say she changed my life is like an understatement.
Wow.
Absolute understatement.
And did she help you realise you were content?
She did, and it was very much mindset shift. She had me out at 5:30 on a morning walking. Well, that was a bit odd. But then she would change like how I thought, how my mind was, what I was thinking, and everything just shifted and changed. She got me into cold water swimming. And I loved it. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, loved it.
And did that inspire you to become a life coach?
Yeah, it did, yeah. At the time, I was a body shop area manager as well, because I've kind of always had 2 jobs. Yeah. And obviously, I couldn't get out to sell. So I'd put my phone in the bathroom cabinet and I'd be like, ooh, vitamin E face wash, let's just wash my face with that. And I'd just chat shit, basically, about what was going on in the world. And I'm like, I've got to be quiet because the kids are still in bed, or the kids had come in and things like that. And it was just an ordinary day. And then people would come up to me and say, oh, Ruth, I really like your lives. If I don't watch them on a morning, I'd watch them on a night. And I was like, hang on a minute. I'm making the same impact that my life coach has on me to other people. Fuck it, let's completely retrain. Because I've been in business since I was 16. I was an apprentice in a business, worked for a company for 24 years.
Wow.
And just went, yeah, fuck it. And I'd sold my caravan, so I used that money to pay for my training, borrowed a little bit more to finish off. And 2 years of training, master NLP practitioner as well as other things. And then just went self-employed.
Wow. So it kind of all stemmed from your life coach and then going live on social media during lockdown.
Yes.
People liking that and almost you becoming an influencer and you influencing their lives. And then, retraining.
Yeah, definitely. And I still do that now. I still go live on a morning.
Oh, okay.
Not selling body shop stuff, I've got to say. But I literally go on, cleanse my face, put my makeup on, chat shit. George will come in and we'll have arguments, like proper arguments, or he'll come on and he'll tell a tale or something like that. He'll speak to it. And it's just absolute normal life. But I try and put a spin on it and turn that around to be happy. I will always talk about what's happened to me.
Honestly.
Honestly, because it's all about, I'm very authentic.
Yes.
And it's like that. So so then did life coaching, then changed to do some therapy and
and here you are.
Just loving life. I know, yeah.
The Feel Amazing Therapist, live in action. And if people want to follow you, what's your Facebook name if they want to follow your lives? Or are you on Instagram now or TikTok?
Yeah, so my lives are on my personal, which is fine, which is just Ruth Smith.
Okay.
My business is the Feel Amazing Therapist. So that's in Instagram and in Facebook. And my website is www.thefeelamazingtherapist.co.uk.
Brilliant. And which channel is it that you go live on, or is it multiple? On Facebook.
On Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm old school. I can't do it about Instagram and TikTok. It's just not for me.
If it works for you and that's where your audience is at, then it's all great. That's what we always say. You don't have to be on everything just because you seem to be the new trend.
Yeah.
And so you're a life coach and you're self-employed. What's it like?
It's the hardest thing I have ever done. I've never worked so hard. I have never earned so little. But I have never had so much satisfaction. It is unreal. One of my clients, and she openly says this, so I'm not speaking out of term, came to see me and she was suicidal. I didn't know that at the time. We did coaching and therapy and things like that. And she now runs a very, very successful marketing company. She's got 2 children. She's just about to move house. And she will put that down to coming to see me. You can't, you just can't put anything on that. And clients do tell me about them changing their lives, and I'm seeing school children, and so it's hard work, not gonna lie.
Yeah, a lot of financial pressure, isn't it?
Loads of financial pressure, but fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
And it sounds like you're positively impacting so many people's lives. And I heard about you before I met you, people just talking about how amazing you are. That must feel so good.
It is, yeah. And people will say, like, somebody had watched I'd look at my website, somebody completely random, this marketing guy, and he was like, I feel like I've had a hug. I've looked at your website, I feel like I've had a hug. You know, people will come and a hug. I am a very big hugger.
Yeah.
And I just reset people's nervous systems, and just being around people. And that is like my talent. And I love it because it doesn't really take anything. It takes a hug or a smile or compliment or just something. Yeah, I am. I'm very proud, to be fair, of how I influence that.
Yeah, so you should be. But, you know, you mentioned that with your MS, your energy levels are sometimes in short supply, and it's all energy you're exchanging. How do you manage to stay so positive?
I don't know. There's some sort of, like, whether it's adrenaline or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not positive all of the time. I'm not happy all of the time. I don't whinge and complain. I do that, quite regularly.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, it is. It's just normal. But I don't know. It's just about changing that mind. Why would you want to be complaining all of the time? Why do we say we've had a really bad day? It's such a British thing to do, to say that we've had a bad day. Well, actually, have we? Have we really had a bad day? Have we just had a bad hour? And then when you look through your day, actually, it was just one email or it was one conversation that had really nagged you for like an hour, but then everything was all right again. But we'll say we've had a bad day, but ultimately, when we look at the 24 hours or even like, the 12 or 13 that we're doing stuff in, it was only an hour that was really rubbish.
Yeah, good point.
And let's look at all of the day. Let's look at, I'm very big on gratitude and feeling proud of yourself as a daily thing. If you look as a gratitude, and lots of people do it on a morning, I do mine on an evening. I don't write it down because I'm not a big journaler. I will speak to the universe every night. And it's just 3 things that I'm grateful for during that day. And it's not the big things. It's not like, I'm really grateful that I've got a house. Obviously, I am really grateful I've got a house. But like today, I'm very grateful for you for coming and for asking me to come in. Thank you. And when I was swimming this morning, so I was at the sea, at the beach for, I was going to say 5:30, I was a bit late. It was the first time this year that we saw light. So we went in the dark and we could just see a little bit of sunrise, and it was beautiful. It was such a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Yes.
And that's just sets you up for the day.
Definitely. I really believe in that. And sometimes on days where you've had a really tough day, and not just an hour, but a really tough day, like just being grateful for a warm cup of tea, it can just really reframe how you think and just get you to look out for those little things that we take for granted every day. What other tips do you have if someone wants to really start changing their mindset and wants to improve their happiness levels?
Is to look at the way that you speak, and look at the way that you speak to yourself, essentially. I mean, we speak to ourselves internally so badly all of the time. I will do this thing, and I'll do it now, is to think of 3 things that you like about yourself.
Okay.
That is really difficult to do. If I'd asked for 10 things that you don't like about yourself, you'd give me 100. But 3 things that you like about you. So one of mine is I give good hugs. So that's one of the things that I like about myself. And then when you're having these negative thoughts, oh God, this is so cringy. Remember me going, stop, hammer time. For that reason, right? Okay. Because you're going to laugh, because you're going to smile. And I hope everybody who's listening to this is like that. Yeah, all right. But then you say those 3 positive things.
Okay.
Then you've broken the state.
Yeah.
So you're starting with your negative thoughts, and then you remember me going, stop, hammer time, and you're like that, oh yeah. And then you put those 3 positive things in. And that really works because you're stopping it. And then you're looking at positive things about you.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you can almost just, like, going back to what you said about if you're having a bad hour, it might have even just been a bad 2 minutes, but you replay it for hours in your mind. So if you can break the cycle, stop hammer time, break the cycle, and then kind of then program yourself with the 3 words, that's really important.
Yeah, it is. And affirmations are huge.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
Does it really work? Because you hear all this hype about, you must say these words. Does it really work?
If it works, if you put it in your language. So I always think I can tell you, like, oh, you are strong, you are powerful. That's what I think.
Right.
It is. So what sometimes my affirmations, my big affirmation is I've got this. That is all over with everything, and that comes up quite a bit.
Right.
But it can just be, so like, when the days that you're procrastinating and something shiny comes up, like I am productive today.
Okay.
So then you're seeing it and you I put mine on Post-it notes.
Right.
And put them in my bathroom mirror.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because then you see them while you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah. And
I've got them all over my dressing table, but they kind of need to be personal to you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Rather than lots of different ones that other people have made up. They're fine and they're brilliant. But if you put something that's more personalised to you, you're going to see it a lot more.
Okay, that makes sense. Brilliant. Thank you for those little tips. And would you say you're happier now living with MS and living with, the issues that your poor daughter Lily is facing than when you were younger?
I am going to say no. I really, really wish Lily wasn't going through what she was going through. 100%. I think we will all say that. We would wish, that our children weren't going through that. It would be nice to do things that I could do with my son and ride bikes and things like that. So, yes, it's changed my perspective on my life.
Okay.
But I really wish I had my previous life.
And
if that makes sense.
Does make total sense. And, that is probably the obvious answer. But I just thought with you changing your perspective so much, I guess, do you maybe wish you hadn't taken for granted your happiness back then?
Do you know what? No, I don't. I wouldn't do anything different. I would still get married. I would still have the children.
Yeah.
I would still live my life as I did because it's shaped me for who I am today. If I didn't do all of that, then I wouldn't be who I am today. And life does throw us curveballs, and we've just got to run with it, essentially, sadly.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, my MS has restricted my life, and I wish I hadn't got it, but I wish more than anything that Lily hasn't got what she's got. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that saying, isn't it? You're only ever as happy as your happiest child. And do you feel Lily's pain more than your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think it's a mother's instinct, isn't it? And
you want to just wrap them up, and occasionally when she was in hospital and we were dealing with consultants and things like that, I came mama bear, and at one point Lily's girlfriend thought I was going to launch the neurologist because we were having a bit of a battle. Mama bear came out to protect, and she said, you just want to wrap her in cotton wool, and she's got her own house, so she's not even living with me. I find that quite hard.
Yeah. Well, bless you. You're going through so much, but what still gives you the strength to help coach other people through their tough moments in life?
Oh, because it makes a difference to them. That's what it does. It's my ability makes somebody else happy. So it's a case of conserving your energy. I didn't coach for a good couple of weeks. I've just started getting back in and coaching because my energy levels are kind of back up, and it makes a difference. This morning I had a client in and it made a difference, like an hour and a half. I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah, it's an incredible superpower that you have, Ruth.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you're going through so much, and your daughter is, but thank you for sharing what you're going through with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
We have our final 10 questions to go through at the end. So this is where on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, you rate yourself at the following things.
Right.
It's just a bit of fun. It sometimes lightens some heavy conversations that we have on the podcast. So number 1, how good looking would you rate yourself at being?
I'm an 8.
Awesome.
I'm an 8.
How funny are you?
Or I don't physically think I'm funny, but people laugh at me. It's more the options that I do. So if I was trying to be funny, it's probably a 5, but the stuff that I do and the words that I say that just come out of my mouth, it's probably about, again, an 8.
Brilliant. How good at cooking are you?
I used to be very good, and now I can't be bothered.
Is it one of those things that you've just had to let go a bit?
Yeah, yeah, it is, and it's a good excuse. Now I can't do a Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lily could do a Sunday dinner at about the age of 12.
Oh, wow.
So I would say if I put my mind to it, but we'd just go for a 5, I would think.
Okay. How good at singing are you?
I am rubbish. Yeah, I'm really not. I'm down there with about a 3 or a 4. It doesn't stop me though.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Are you able to drink alcohol? Do you like drinking or do you not like drinking? And if you do, are you good at drinking?
No, I'm definitely not. I've got a kiddie belly, and always have done. So if I drink alcohol, I actually think I'm allergic to it.
Yeah.
And I'll throw up. And it's taken me till I was about 50, 51 to realise that.
Oh, okay. Lots
So
of trying.
I'm just like now scaling back. So I am definitely a 1 when it comes to drinking alcohol, and I always have been.
Okay. How about your parenting skills? What would you rate them at?
Oh, 10. No, I'm not actually, because we've all got to make mistakes, don't we? We all have to.
It's such a hard topic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Because I'd like to think I'm a 10. My kids would probably put me down to a 2, but you know.
Think positively.
Yeah, a 10.
Excellent. How good a friend are you?
Oh, definitely a 10.
Brilliant. That's lovely.
Yeah.
What are your intelligence levels like?
Oh, now they're rubbish. They used to be all right.
Yeah, it's really affected that.
Really, really affected. Like I can't read a book.
Oh, really?
'Cause I just can't concentrate on it. When I was doing some counselling training, I found it very, very, very difficult to do, like more difficult than my other training. So my intelligence level is pretty low. But there's ways around it. There's audible books.
Do you listen to audiobooks?
Yes, I do. Yeah. All the time.
I'm glad you can still listen. What are your kindness levels like?
Kindness. Oh, yeah, they're a 10 or 11.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And final question is, how good at sex are you?
Oh, definitely a 10.
Brilliant.
Yeah. No, I'm up there.
Brilliant.
I like to think I am anyway.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Ruth. You've been brilliant.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Stories are at the heart of the Personal podcast, and we're so grateful for everyone who comes on and shares them. Stories are also at the heart of a strong PR campaign. And at Harvey and Hugo, we believe that everyone's story deserves a chance to be heard. That's why we're on a mission to give you a voice amplified through the power of story. Our stories are shared in the form of press releases, social media, content marketing, videography, photography, animation, graphic design, and podcasting. Our stories aren't just heard, they're shared, watched, clicked, but most importantly, they are felt. It's this stirring of emotions that cuts through the noise to light fires within people and activate them towards your purpose. So one question for you. Are you ready to share your story? Harvey and Hugo, your voice amplified.